Hello, welcome to those who are here for the first time, and welcome back for those who are here again. As you all know, this channel is all about sharing my journey as a multi-potentialite, a multi-talented person. And after the first video that I shared, my very first video about why I started YouTube, you'll see the link somewhere. I'll put it up somewhere. This particular video is triggered by one of the messages that I received about someone who said she was a little concerned about being called a jack of all trades. If there's anyone who's had about that a lot, I would probably say I've had that for a fair share. I've thought about it and I've had it quite a bit. So keep watching this video and I will be debunking the myth about being a jack of all trades. Hi, I'm Comfort Smithson. I'm a mother, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an interior stylist, and now a YouTuber. But most importantly, I'm what I strongly believe, a multi-talented, multi-passionate creative. So in a nutshell, the message that I received was something along the lines, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it was something along the lines of this person saying that her family member, or most people keep calling her a jack of all trades because she loves painting, she loves crafting, she's an architect. She basically loves doing a lot of things, as a multi-potentialite would do, or a multi-talented kind of person would be. So I wanted to bring this out and first of all start with the statement being a jack of all trades. Many people say it and they don't seem to know that there's actually a full quote or a complete saying, which was the original saying. And everyone, just like many other things, it's like playing Chinese whisper. By the time you get to the final person, the message has disappeared somewhere or been distorted. So let's get this clear. The full original statement is a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. And you can go and Google this and prove this if you want to. But let's get that clear. And even I wasn't truly aware of it until my mentor showed me or explained or told me to look it up recently. And it actually does give you that sigh of relief. So first things first, I hope that has cleared that up and helps you understand that please try and get the full statement before you just run about and pick up anything. So those of you who have been thinking, everyone says, oh, jack of all trades is a master of none, there is a continuation to it. Now that we have that cleared, I want us to go into understanding that being a multi-potentialite or a multi-talented person is not a problem. It's actually a superpower. This concept of the superpowers of multi-talented people was based again back to Emily Wapnick, who I introduced earlier in my previous video. First thing is multi-talented people are great at innovation. She calls it idea synthesis, but let's call it being innovative. Being innovative, in other words, you're able to come up with new ideas, and many times this happens by combining experiences that you've had, or you combine two or more fields that you've been able to experience or you've used as an intersection. Like the best example that I can use is, as an architect, the one thing that I really learned is that whatever project that you do has to be functional. In other words, it has to work, it has to fit in context enough for the user to use generally. As an interior stylist, I use the concept of function as well to make sure that the spaces that we design are not just pretty, because that's many times that's the issue. Many clients will come, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, but it's mainly about making sure that yes, it's pretty, but at the end of the day, it has to work in the space. That means that it has to flow, it has to move with everything else that's around. So that's one way of, being innovative or idea synthesis. In other words, we're very quick to put two things together and say, okay, this can work with this, and be able to combine them to be able to create this. It's like creating an intersection. Number two is a rapid learning. And this, I kid you not, is something that I genuinely feel is probably the super strength out of all of them. is the ability to learn something really quick, learn a skill really, really quick. And we're just, as multi-passionate people, multi-talented people, we're used to being beginners. That's the thing. And we're also not afraid of being beginners because, one, it's that challenge that drives us. It excites us. It makes us feel like, yes, okay, now let's try this, let's try that. And as much as it might feel like it's all over the place, it is actually a really, it's what keeps us going. It's an exciting place to be because we're not afraid to learn. Many people sometimes are like, oh, now I have to go back all the way from the beginning again, or even if it's a new course, even if it's a new job, even if it's a new educational skill that you're trying to learn. Many people don't like going back to being beginners. Everyone is sort of like wanting to go up, 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 up. I personally just enjoy learning a new skill, and it just happens to be that way. It's just the fun and the thrill of it. And at the same time, when we do learn this skill, we learn them really quickly. I cannot tell you. I mean, for example, all my websites, whether it was for Letasi, whether it was for Fundibox, whether it was for 31 Homes, and even now with the renewed Letasi website, I did all of them myself. It's just such joy and excitement and just the thrill of knowing that I'm actually learning a new thing, and I never get tired of it. I really never get tired of it. Superpower number 3 is adaptability. And this is just another favorite of mine because we are so quick to adapt to an environment as and when we need to. So and it's beyond just, it could be just about people. We could be able to easily associate with people and go to put us in a different place. We will fit in the context and quickly switch our minds to fitting within that context, whether it's change of environment, like anything that you can think of. Multi-potentialites or multi-talented, multi-passionate people are quick to adapt so that you actually start to take on this new challenge or this new experience that you're going to have. And not many people are able to just adapt just as easily. Many, as you've had it, people say they don't like change, and it's true, many people don't like change, but as multi-passionate, multi-talented people, as creative people, somehow it's just that joy of, okay, so it's a new place, what are we going to do? Because it's the thrill of knowing you're going to a new place, you're going to learn something new, again, back to being innovative, back to being the fast learner. You're just quick to shift into almost like shape shifting. Yeah, so that's another superpower that we have, and I'm sure many multi-talented people will relate to that. Those are the 3 superpowers that we have as multi-talented people. But I also want to really highlight that as much as we are jacks of all trades, it's not like we don't know how to manage our skill or our passion or our talent. Just like anyone, we also need to know how to manage it, and we do manage to contain it in a way. The difficulty with being multi-talented, though, is we can easily slip into running around and doing so many other things, and many times you start to feel like you're not succeeding at just the one thing. So that's a whole other video on a whole other topic to discuss. How we manage these superpowers is just one critical word, and that word is focus. Sometimes we have to actually be very deliberate about creating the focus, and yet sometimes it just comes naturally to us because we can get into the state where we get so absorbed in one project, and for that moment, that project is all we're trying to learn, all we're trying to adapt to, all we're trying to to understand. And you can imagine how much focus we go into it. And then, yeah, of course, we might or might not eventually drop it, but that focus is how we manage our superpower. So, last words, as always, as I like to leave, is just to say, if you are a multi-talented person and you're watching this, I just want you to know that it is not a problem, as I mentioned before, and yet it is a superpower and it's a strength, and that the world does need us, because we are the yin to the specialists who are the yang. Whew, that's a lot. Anyway, no, but what I'm trying to say, I just hope that this video encourages you that even though you are a jack of all trades, you are still quite important to the world. Because yes, they are specialists and we are not specialists. We have so many other things that we are good at and we are talented at doing. But imagine that is how we coexist in this world, and that's our purpose in this world, and that's why we are, you know, meant to be here. A good example is Leonardo da Vinci. He was an artist of this famous Mona Lisa painting, but at the same time, and I don't know if many people know that, he was also a hydraulic engineer, he was an architect, he was quite a number of things, I will say. But if you just look through his life, he was a Renaissance soul and a multi-talented person, and he managed to still achieve things and become famous and known. So not that we're directly going into being famous and known, it's just I want you to know that this is about you being happy with who you are and knowing that it's not a problem. I want to emphasize that, actually. I want to emphasize that you being you as a multi-talented person is not a problem, it is a superpower. Just so you know that it is important that we are also accepted in this world as we are, because we add the sprinkle to the so many things that happened in this world. We add the sprinkle to the already rigid kind of setup. Because imagine if we were only, everyone was just a specialist, who would be able to create the intersection, who would come up with new ideas, and who would be the experimental one to try out this and that in the different multi-fields, you know. So that's all I had to share this time round. If you've found this video interesting, please do like. Also, please do leave a comment and let me know what you thought about it. We're a community here. Keep sharing. Do subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.